Let me know when I'm live. Hello? Welcome, everyone. Hi, IAAH Radio Plus. How are you this weekend? Happy Saturday, mi amores. How's everyone doing? I'm Judge Desire for Knowledge. Do you hear me? Great. Thanks. I'm Judge Desire for Knowledge. Welcome to my channel, Judge Desire for Knowledge TV radio talk show, talk radio, I should say. Welcome today on this brisk Saturday. So last night we had about 4 degrees, and right now it's about 14. Woo! Those in the United States, uh, welcome to the cold. Those in the tropics, good luck for you. I mean, everything's great for you. You're so happy and blessed to be out there at this time because we are about to embrace a storm all over the Western Hemisphere, the United States, where it's cold. So, for those in the Caribbean, lucky for you. I wish I was there right now. And for us in the United States, let's just get our popcorn, our fireplace put together. Let's go get those logs and get them going if you have fireplaces or whatever it is that keeps you warm. Your significant other, your cat, your dog, whatever it may be. Come and join me now for my show here, Know Your Truth, Real Talk. I do this every Saturday at 3 o'clock. In case those are new here, thank you for joining me today. Subscribe, like, and share. And I hope you like this topic. I hope you got your popcorn going. I don't have mine because I'll be talking to you and I didn't want to be rude. But either way, let's start this and get this going, right? Let's get this party going. So this week I decided to do another on relationships, which I have several videos on that. You could go check me on YouTube. The videos are uploaded, different topics on relationships. So in other words, the theme is on relationships, and then I'll bring out other reasons why it's on relationships. For instance, this week it's man women energy. Okay, I'll tell you what that's about versus boy girl energy. So basically, this is about maturity of adults versus the immaturity of people that never grow up or choose not to. Those that play games are more immature. They're more like the boy girl energy, and those that get to the point really let you know who they are, what they want, and things like that. That's called maturity. So those are the men and women energies that we get out here. So I thought this would be important because a lot of us deal with these type of relationships. So that's why I have shows on relationships. Like I said, if you want, feel free to go check the other videos here on relationships and you'll see different types, okay? I don't remember all of them. I have like over 300 and something up there. Some of them are on relationships. So you can look at the category of the relationships and then pick the one that calls your name, you know? So everybody has different situations. Everybody's not the same, but I like to bring in stuff that comes to my mind and I utilize it in my contents a lot with good thought and sounding great. Yeah, go choose that. All right, I'm sorry. I was reading my comments. But getting back to the story, this week is on relationships, man slash women energy versus the boy and girl behaviors, which I said has to deal a lot with maturity. So if you've ever dated someone who acts like a child, the kind you need to work on all the time, then this show is for you. Even if you didn't, here this show is going to show you the differences between dating a divine individual, masculine or feminine, versus a childlike. All right. So with that being said, because I'm sure some of us, not all of us, at least once in our lifetime will meet these type of characters. I know I did a long time ago. The type that mommy makes decisions for them all the time, the type that they always, and I love you loving your parents and your moms and your dads, but you have to grow up at some point in time. I know as a parent myself, I have to let my children grow. So this is where we grow them up to become the men or women that they need for the other person, their counterpart part of their world, society, you know, their workplace, that they're not going to go there and be less than anyone else, right? So What kind of parent teaches their children to continue to be children, or why do these young adults or childlike behaviors remain childlike even as adults? And that's what we're going to get into now. Hi, family. Mi amore. What's up, girl? How you doing? I love you. All right. So when I was talking about I've had this experience before, this is why I'm putting this content out and I've seen it. And it's sad because we wouldn't want to bring up our children to remain mentally stuck or have the immature behaviors as they become adults. And this is going on in the world. So we got to be really careful. So I'll be discussing one or many topics on relationships um, in this whole video. Every month I'll come out with one or another, but this topic is about what I said, the immaturity at levels of people's mentalities, and then you can find out which one you're dating, married to, or had a relationship with before, because all of us may have at one time in our life, not all of us, but that you know that when you're dating this type of person, you want to have that mature adult, okay? But do you know if you do? All right. When dating, do you know if you're dating a mature adult or a child's adult in an adult body? You know, we get that all the time. They're charming, they're great. And then, ta-da, all of a sudden, as you get to know them, you're realizing, wait a minute, what did I do here? This person doesn't have the abilities to think for themselves, act on their own, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of childish male and female, boy and girls, I call them, behaviors, not to slander anybody, gender or anything. And they basically they carry it into the old age. If they don't see it and they don't recognize it, then someone needs to tell them about it. All right. Because most of them are in adult bodies and we don't notice that until we actually get involved on a deeper basis. And then you start realizing, I know, because then that happened to me a long time ago. I was like, oh shoot, I had known, and you don't want to do that later because it's waste of time. Maybe some people do like immature adult behaviors, but some of us don't. We like a grown up, you know what I mean? So we can move forward and upward. Hopefully, this episode will help you decipher the difference between, like I said, a male slash woman versus boy slash girl. So we're going to start with the women, of course, because we come first. What's it say? Uh, Lovings, love and blessings. All right, so let's get it straight. Women versus girl and man versus boy, first and foremost, is not about age. It's about emotional, like I said, adulthood. All right. So we're going to start with the woman versus girl. And of course, we're going to start with women first because they're more mature. But this is not a dating behavior. It's not gender slander, please. Okay. I'm not slandering. I'm just giving you clarification on the differences of a woman versus a girl. So, of course, we're going to start with the more mature of the category, dating a woman. All right. Now, if you're a real woman out there like myself, you're going to know that this is you. Just give me a shout out and say, that's me. All right. Dating a woman. She's direct. She doesn't drop hints. She drops facts. That's us. Right? This is who resonates. I hope all of us do. And her boundaries are clean. No dramatic speeches except for clarification. That's me. Check off all the boxes for you, ladies. That's right. If you're not checking off these boxes, rethink. Go back to yourself and find out if you are recognized, if yourself within yourself, if did I get to that point yet? Because you can. It's not over. But we're going to move on because the next one you'll see if you resonate more as a girl or as a woman. All right. So let's move on. A woman is emotionally regulated. She can be upset without turning into a 3-season series. Am I right or wrong? Now you've seen those women and I've seen it in court. They go beyond over. I'm like, oh my God, even with their children, they'll curse at their children and they'll stand there and look so stupid. Yet this child or the children are sitting there looking at them as well. Oh my God, look at my mother. As young as they are, I'm sure they're embarrassed. There's the type of women that are called girls, but we're talking about women now. They do not get upset and turn into one of those season series that you see, the novelas. Yeah. Yeah, 3 season series. A woman dating a woman means she owns, let me say that again, she owns her choices. All right, that's right, I checked that box off too. If she's in, she's in. If she's out, she leaves with dignity, not a subtweet. That is so true, because if you're a real woman, mature, divine female, you're going to step up and say, well, okay, this is done. No need for me to be here anymore. You're not going to go do revenge, paybacks, and, well, let me get them in court. Let me do this to them. You're not. You're just going to simply move on. You're going to move forward and you're going to say, I'm too good for this. Why was I there wasting time? But you know what? You learned your lesson. So move on. There's no need for all of that. This is what real women do. We leave with dignity, our heads held up high. And real women, when you're dating them, communicates to resolve, not to win. We're not here like, I won, you won, we won. No, no. So we're talking about right now dating a woman. Now we're going to go into the phase of the more immature. Well, maybe you won't think so, depending on how you are and what you like. Now, this is dating a girl. Now, when you're dating a girl, she tests you instead of talking to you. Am I wrong? I'm sure, guys, you know about this. If he cared, he'd know I care. Girl, I'm a person, not a mind. I mean, not a mind reader. I mean, all these guys must say that, right? Like, if they expect you to read their mind, are you a mind reader now? Seriously, that is what a little girl is about, immaturity. She tests you instead of talking to you, as if you would know what she needs or what she wants. A real woman allows you to give you the actual evidence, the receipts. Here I am. This is who I am, and this is what I want, not a little girl. They expect you to mind read them. All right. So remember that when dating a girl, okay, she tests you instead of talking to you. And she'll always say something like, if you cared about me, you would know this has always been what I do. Things like that. You're supposed to read their mind. Sorry about that. Because I got caught in that one. That is so funny. I can't even explain it because I've seen this in other people's relationships, which is sad because it is what it is. But that's when you're dating a girl, all right, as well. We'll move on now. Dating a girl, she uses silence as a weapon. Now that's very dangerous because now you're playing games. Usually that's what little girls do. Immaturity does that. Nothing says mature like punishing someone to them with no explanation at all. Suddenly you're dating a closed door. Now, why would I want to date someone that shuts down if they don't like what I say or what I do instead of reevaluating the situation and speaking and communicating? No. Okay, that's little girls. That's what they do when you're dating them. So guys, check off this box if someone you know is dating, that's them. I don't know, or women. If this is you, there's time for change. All right, dating a girl. She confuses attention with affection. Yep, that's the truth. Needs constant reassurance like it's oxygen. If you don't text her back right away, it's a federal case. Okay? Seriously. I've seen that. Why didn't they text me right now? This and that in the hallways of where I work, anywhere you go. Even if you're on the subway, you hear people, they talk and discuss their business out loud. I mean, I don't know why you're giving your information out like that, but I've heard this on several times where they look like they're going to be frantic if the person doesn't text or call at that moment. Those are immature little girls. When you're dating little girls, this is what you get. Little girls love chaos, but calls it passion. You know those type that they'll bring chaos to your life and then say, but it's so passionate. They don't know the difference between the two, huh? That's how you know you're dating a little girl. Um, Also dating a little girl, she wants a relationship but not the responsibility part, which we all know, just the Instagram part, the IG, the FB, social media part. That's all they want. All right, those are little girls. They're not in it for a real responsible relationship at all. And the difference here is a woman communicates and a girl performs. So get that right. I'm getting text here. All right. And so that's what that is for a little girl. We're going to go to the men now. Excuse me, sorry. We're gonna go to the gentlemen now, the ones that are gentlemen. But we're gonna go to the boy versus man versus boy, the masculines versus the little boys. All right, and masculine meaning brave, courageous men, and versus little feeble boys. No gender, no issue with the sexes. I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to slander them. I'm just trying to show you um, how they're described and how they come about when you're man versus boy, so that you get the idea or the picture of what I'm trying to configure here, so that you can see what I'm talking about. So we're on man versus boy, and we're going to start with, of course, the divine masculine, a man. Dating a man. Now, ladies, if you're out here and you want to know what dating a man is like, because maybe you've never experienced it or you thought you did, this is what a real man is like. Well, most of it, not all of it. He's consistent, okay? His words and actions are in the same group chat, all right? It's not all over the place. All right. He's honest about his intention. He wants you, and you won't be guessing about it. If it's casual, he says it's casual. If it's serious, he says it's serious. If he shows it, he shows it. That's maturity. That's a divine masculine. And he plans. Not that we should link these together, which translates never, because when you have a boy, they never. Okay. We're talking about actual dates, actual times, meaning planning. All right. A real man that you date, he protects the relationship. Yes, he does. More than he protects his ego. Now, isn't that good? Because a lot of men and women have egos, and sometimes that comes before the relationship because they care about themselves. Actually, I when you're a youngster, teenager, I remember a guy that was competing with me with looks and stuff. I was like, how do you compete with a woman? I mean, who does this stuff? Ego does that. All right. So this reminds me of that when I was about 20. Um, yeah, I have dated one of these guys that their ego came first. No, that didn't last long. Let's say I get rid real fast, like maybe not even a month. So, and I've dated people in professions like that with ego. And when I say date, my dates don't last more than 2 months or less if it's not commission. I mean, a committed relationship. Sorry, commission. That must be for somebody. Um, and so, with that being said, I know when it's a man and when it's a child sometimes, and I don't like egotistical men. How about you, ladies? You guys like egotistical men, or you like them to be what I just stated here, where he protects the relationship over his ego? What? Don't let your mouth write a check that your ass can't cash. That's a good one. Don't let your mouth write a check that your can't cash. All right. I try not to curse as much. Cursing is cursing aloud and cursing yourselves, as is in the Bible, but I choose to try to restrain myself. But that was cute. Thank you for that. Don't let your mouth. Yeah, that's a good one. I actually like that. Let me give you a heart for that one. That was good. I hope you still hear IAAH radio. Plus listening to this chat here on TV Talk Radio. Um, and we were on right now, men dating men, which was really good because I don't like men that protect their ego more than the relationship. Like they have to let their boys, for instance, oh well, I want my boys to see that I'm a mature man. That's not a mature man. I want them to look at me, machismo is ego and it's immaturity. And if you don't know what machismo is, it comes from a lot of families that men rule, and yeah, you are the head of the household. It's even biblical about that. But how far do you go? Like, no, no, no. You could have equal give and take in relationship where you don't have to act like you're the only one surviving or living in it. Um, and that's ego. Sometimes we overdo our egos, women too, but we're talking about men right now, dating men with egos. And machismo means that, when you were brought up to be taught, I'm gonna bring it basic as I can, that not only are you the head of the households, which yeah, most of the time, but not all the time. but that you're taught that you should be, and no woman should ever do this or no woman should do that. They should be sitting in the kitchen cooking your meals and having your babies. They shouldn't work, those kind of things. So those are machismo, family old saying that some men kept going with that because their fathers taught their fathers, who taught their father, who taught. It's a long generational mishap, I call it. But we ended that now. We either equal 50-50. All right. I'll let you be the head when you need to be the head. You let me be the head when I need to be the head. No ego here. All right. No one should overweigh someone else in a relationship, in a marriage, in a partnership, or whatever. Um, and if you choose to do so, then you deal with the ego of that person. Now, again, we're going back to men. And dating a man, he can handle a hard conversation without disappearing. Have you ever had men that you talk to them and you're real deep and they can't handle it because they do not like truth? And there's women like that too. Like, I don't want someone patting me on the back all day and knowing that in the end you're just gonna stab me in the back. So you're gonna make me be right all the time, okay? And then afterwards you're going to show me your real self. No, show me yourself now. That's maturity. A man won't play. He's going to show you who you are, who they are. um, and the thing about that is a man can handle a hard conversation without disappearing like he's in the witness program. You know what I mean? No, you want that kind of guy. You want that kind of guy because there's too many out here, female and male, that they do not like to tell you who they are from the start. You're going to wonder, and then you're like, well, I'm trying to get this relationship together, but I'm not sure who this person really is because they're not showing themselves. They're just, oh, you're this, you're all that, you're all that. And at the end, God forbid, if you have children with them or married them, then you find out the truth. Now I'm going to take everything from you. Now I'm like, this is all called maturity, okay? Immaturity, I'm sorry. Um, and when you're dating a man, you want to see these values. When you're dating a woman, you want to see these values. But when you're dating a boy and a girl, you're not going to see those values. Those are what games, I do have games people play. Go check that out. I have some videos up for you as well as on the relationship. I have games people play as well with different verses, topics attached to that as well, where you can check that out. What? What's up? The real. Hey, what's going on out there? The real DJ. Bugging high. Hi. All right, what's up? And so let me get back to this before I lose content, my ideas. Um, you don't want someone, like I just said, that can't handle a conversation and does disappear. So a man, we're going to go back to a man dating. Now, guys, ladies, whatever you date, not my business. But if you want a real man, we're up to men right now dating. He can handle a hard conversation without disappearing like he's in a witness program. Yeah, a witness protection program. That's the kind of man you want. One that doesn't disappear on you all the time, you know? He's also accountable. He can apologize without adding a but, because you know how people are. Well, I wouldn't mind a but where you going with that but? And explanations. No, a man is accountable. He can apologize without adding all the adjectives to it, right? Right, ladies? If you've dated a real man or you're married to one, you know it is what it is. So we're going now to dating a boy. All right. All right. This is not the divine male masculine. This is a little sheltered, over ego boy. That's what they usually are. Not sure how they didn't mature or grow up. Everyone has issues, everyone has problems. But I'm sure when these people start dating and they realize they're having problems in their dating experiences, maybe they'll grow up and realize it's them. And go see my other show just recently, last week, Look in the Mirror. Oh, don't blame everybody else. Start blaming the reflection in front of you. Anyway, let's get back to this. When dating a boy, all right, he future fakes, you know, can see us. I could see us traveling together, just after 2 dates, things like that, and then vanishes when you ask, well, when your day is free. Okay, what day are you free? Boom, they're gone because they never intended for that to happen. That's just one example. And then they weaponize incompetence by I'm not good at communication too much, la la la, and I'm not good at unpaid internships is what I'm saying. But the point is, if you're not good at communicating too much, let's talk about that. But they want to shut you down before you even get to a real conversation. Those are little boys. That's dating a boy. Little boys only know to show up when convenient. All right. You get a text, a what, WYD, and I'll tell you what that is if you don't know. An acronym is what are you doing, a WYD. Late at night at the same time every night. If you get stuff, this is just hypothetical. Okay, there's other examples. I'm using this one. If you keep getting that every night, like a scheduled push notification instead of conversation, then you know that's a little boy. They're never gonna grow up. They're just gonna text you. They don't want to confront you, converse, because maybe they don't have good communication skills. But how do you start? Sitting there texting you instead of calling you. If you're dating, you're dating someone. You don't need to hide if you really mean what you mean. But these are little boys while dating, all right? He calls you dramatic every time. This is a little boy. Every time you say something that's truth, you're dramatic. You require too much effort. Actually, you're actually startling him, all right? The fact that they say that, or you're too much, of course you're too much. You require too much effort is because you acquire attention. When you're in a relationship, whether it's committed or not, you want to see how far it's going to go, right? In order to do so, you need to communicate, and I don't mean sexually either. I mean communication. It's really important. Sexual comes and goes. It's not as important as someone that can speak out to you, because um, what I know from communication is a lot of people don't do that anymore at all. They usually use the words of passion, their bodies instead of their minds. And this is what's getting us in trouble if we look at it. If you look back on everything in your life or other people's lives, if you want to analyze, mostly sexual stuff has gotten people in trouble. Pregnant, we could go on. Unwanted pregnancies, things that happen and occur from that, courtrooms, this and that. It goes on and on. So basically, communication is one of the most important things to do when you're getting into partnerships, relationships, and commitments. Little boys protects their ego over their relationship, unlike the man that we just showed that they don't put their ego first. Every conversation from a little boy becomes a debate and not a repair. The difference here, a man builds and a boy samples. All right. Remember that? I said about a woman and a girl. Well, here's the difference between a man and a boy. A man builds and a boy samples. Okay. Don't forget that, because it's really important to realize the difference here between the two. I'm sure a lot of you got a lot of experiences on seeing either other people relationships, your own families, exes, whatever the case may be, whatever resonates with you, and you'll realize the difference between a man versus a boy and a woman versus a girl. Um, what is it? There's no difference. Game over, right? Yeah, that's how. If there's no conversation, I just saw that in a symbol. Good for you. I like that. That's cute. Game over. That's right. You got to have game over. It's easy to be sexually manipulated. It has gotten us in a lot of trouble. So I would say I prefer communicating, and I would tell my family, my children, and a lot of people, communicate with that person first. That's maturity. Yeah, don't be the little boy or the little girl. Those behaviors, that they don't last much longer, and usually not all the time, but usually those are the ones that aren't in great relationships. They're always having situation and problems, and that's not what we get into relationships for. We can do problems by ourselves. We don't need additional help in that, right, ladies and gentlemen? We can do it by ourselves. We can get ourselves into problems. We don't need additional help with that, right? So why get in a relationship if that's what it's going to be like? So therefore, I would never. Well, I'm married now, thank God, and happy. But outside of that, those of us like in my single life before, yeah. I cut it off right away when I see that the person is not. After I learned about little boy syndrome, little boy behaviors, because I've had that before, I cut that down. Leave, nice meeting you. It's great. It's not working here. And some of us, we're born with too much maturity for some people that can't handle it, but we know what we want. And we don't waste people time, take advantage, and do revenge. Some women and some men, I'm sure. Those are the real women and those are the real men. Those are divine men and women. That's what we want to marry, partnership with, have relationships with. Not little boy girl syndromes, not those behaviors, because they don't lead to anything but destruction at the end. The courtrooms in the end, I see them all the time. And actually, to tell you the truth, in the courtrooms, they act like little children. They act like little boys and girls. We had to tell them to sit down, be quiet, wait until your turn to speak. Um, you know, oh, it's not a joke. So these are realities. And finishing words in this dating, man slash women, boy slash girl versus boy slash girl. I wanted to finish this with it's not about dating. The real difference isn't woman versus girl or man versus boy. It's grown up versus unfinished business. Okay? That's what it is. Because when you get a grown up, it's fine. When you get unfinished business, it's never fine. A grown up brings clarity and consistency and accountability. A project, that's what those little behaviors are, girl boy behaviors, boy girl behaviors. A project brings confusion, mixed signals, and that familiar feeling of doing emotional labor. Who wants to do all this work? Not I. I say no. No, someone else can have you, sweetie. If that's the case, you're not worth it for me. I mean, I know a lot of women or men would say that if you're a grown woman. I'm not saying age maturity, like we said in the beginning. These are not what we want projects because they bring confusion, mixed signals, and that feeling of emotional labor, which means that you have to work even extra hard on someone. You're already trying to work on you. Everybody's working on yourselves. You should be. That never ends where you keep working on yourself to be the better version of yourself. Um, like it's a second job or something, and just their personality, it's immaturity, like boy girl behavior. Don't date potential, date patterns. Someone that's going to show you those receipts. Someone that the receipts, as I said in my other show, is considered evidence. Evidence is receipts, something you can see that's tangible, not intangible. Because this to me is intangible. I want to see it. I don't want to hear the talk. I want you to walk it. All right. And I'm sure a lot of people out there don't want to. If someone talks too much and you don't see the evidence, like the action behind their words, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not your counselor, but it's best that you reevaluate the situation and see if that's where you want to go. I'll leave it there. Um, because like I said, don't date potential because you think, oh, this person looks sexy and charming. No, date patterns. Look at their patterns. I always say this to people I know. When they come to me, how do you do? Okay. When you're dating someone, this is how I do it. Check the receipts of their past. Their past is going to show who they are or were. Now, if they've changed, they've changed. If they haven't, they'll continue that same um, pattern. So that's why it's good to date patterns, because if you find that pattern is the same way with you, run now, leave, run as fast as you can. You might be doing years of jail time in a relationship. Okay, you don't want that. I've seen people in jail without being put in jail in the court. So, and I've heard, and you don't want that. So check their patterns, check their past. If they don't give you a lot of information, be very wary about why they're quiet about their past, because it's always good to know people's patterns and see what are they here for, what do they want out of me all the time without saying it. Conversations, communications, that thing there is the reason why you get to know someone, how you get to know someone, not through sexual um partnerships, not through sexual relationships. That can all end at any time. But if you're communicating with someone and it's more than that, and it doesn't matter about sex, that's a real strong partnership and relationship. And believe me, it's worth it because, like I said, Don't date the potential. Those are the people that open their mouth and they're never showing you any evidence. Date patterns. So if their past look bad and they're working on themselves now, you give them a chance, but be careful. um, Especially if they don't tell you about their past. Like, let's say they don't have children, you're not going to know anything about them. If they have children and you see how they treat a certain particular person or the children or something, take a look at that and say, wait a minute, this person took this person here and did this and nearly messed up their whole lives. Run, run now. That's all I got to say. You don't have to, but I would run. I would run for my dear life and not get committed in that. Okay. We got to know where we could be committed in, what we should be committed in, and what we shouldn't be. That's called maturity. That's called man slash woman and not boy slash girl. So if you've dated or even married a person that never did the work, but in the end, like I was just saying, will take whatever you built, and we see it in social media. We see it with the entertainers, sister, the actors and actresses. Everybody takes them for what they're worth right after. It's like they never even knew that person, right? And it happens to a lot of us. I could say maybe I don't have the facts, but I'm saying it has to be over 80 something percent because we're not doing the job. We're not doing the work. We're not checking things. We just think everything is sex, 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 because that's what society shows us. So that's what we know. And sometimes it's charm. People come in, they come sexual all the time, blah blah blah, and then at the end, you lose. Yeah, it can't be that all the time. Somebody has to have a brain in the relationship, both of you preferably. But if you've ever dated or married a person that never did the work, and I've seen a lot of this, but in the end will take whatever you built, then you're dealing or dealt with a boy girl behavior, not a man woman energy, right or wrong. Yeah. And that you have to be careful, because if you have to beg for clarity, consistency, or respect, that's not your person. That's your lesson. All right. Don't forget that. And I've had a lot of lessons. I didn't date a lot. I had commitments, but I learned my lesson with the few that I had commitments. And I'm just coming and pleading to you all that this is a very important topic of what you date. If you want to date, that's choosing what you want to do. But I'm going to bring it out there. I'm going to bring the truth to you because of the experience, work experience, life experience, and other experiences I've seen, and help you guys get there so that you do not have to go through all of that pain and suffering that other people have gone through, that I've seen, and what I've gotten out of, what other people get out of, and some people don't get out of. It's like a lifelong hell. And I hate to bring that word in here, but yeah. And that's what happens when you have sex without knowing what you want to doing and with just anyone, because it can be a lifelong commitment. And you know what I mean by that, right? Yeah. So we'll move on because that's going to be your lesson. And some of us, that is our lesson. All right. And if you have to chase basic effort, they can keep running. It's not worth training for. All right. Don't forget, you shouldn't have to chase basic stuff. There's too many people out here. You can be by yourself, loving on you or someone else, but you shouldn't have to keep running after anyone. Okay. It's not worth the training for that, because if I run, I want to run because of my health, for basically exercise, but I don't want to have to run after a man. I don't have that kind of time and won't make that kind of time. You go, you go. I won't take you to court. I don't need your money. I don't need you. Good luck. God bless. I'm moving up and higher and forward. You stay where you need to go, because I have seen so much stuff within the court. The revenge, it's too much. All right. Who does this stuff? Losers. Yeah. Losers do this. You want to make a point, make your point by leaving with your dignity. Like I said before, you'll be fine. You just have to do the work that you were supposed to do when you were in the relationship and not depend on someone else's paycheck. How about that one? All right, I'm going to go from this one because a lot of people don't get it. You don't get it. You have to prepare yourself in relationship. It should be 50-50. Not someone giving you 80 and you're getting 80 and they're only getting 20 because you like it. No, that's not how it works. Because in the end, it comes out into revenge in the courthouses. I've seen it, and sometimes criminal. They become criminal offenses, family offenses, civil offenses. We could keep going on and on and on. The court is entertaining your business. Just letting you know, because that's my life experiences watching people like you, those that this resonates with, and it's sad. So I just wanted to come to you at it, with the information so that you can stop. Stop now. Please stop. And if you're just joining, because I seen a few people join, go back to the beginning and you'll understand exactly what I mean. It's just so sad. But I did want to say I thank each and every one of you for your time here today, and hope you had fun with me discussing the real true masculinity, femininity, and boy and girl behaviors here, and what a divine man and woman is versus a little boy and girl behaviors. And as you can see, it always ends up being something that is not worth your time. Time is too short here on earth to be dealing with little kids' mentalities that they have never grown up, but they're in adult bodies. And so, with that being said, please like, share, and subscribe. And those in the United States, we're bracing for this in a few hours. We're getting 15 to 20 inches of snow minimum and probably be snowbound. A lot of you in the United States, be safe out there. Stay warm. Get your fireplaces together because we are. I hope you guys had your popcorn today while you was watching this video. Those in the Caribbean, lucky you. All right, I guess you can watch us stay warm. But I wish all of you be safe and blessed, and try to stay indoors. Nothing's going to be out there for you if you're within the United States where it's cold and the storm is hitting. I heard it's even hitting Texas and places that it hasn't hit before. So, Texas, we're here with you. You're finally going to be joining us. I have family out there. Be safe, family, all over the world. Also, I wanted to say one thing that I almost forgot and I didn't want to. So basically, this is a time when the homeless is in need of a lot of things. These are our sisters and brothers. So I'm hoping that each and every one of us who has a relative, hopefully not, that is homeless at this time, think of taking them in no matter what happened. You can throw them out later, but it is serious. There's been a lot of deaths of people that haven't done for their own family. Taking in people that aren't your family is hard enough, but your own family. And I've seen in the news the past day 2 women that died because they didn't meet the time to get in the shelter on time. And it's sad around the world. Michigan, I think, was one. I'm not sure where the other one was. It was too sad. But these are actually our sisters and brothers. So we need to do more for the homeless. Bring them a blanket, bring them a coffee if you can't bring them in, please. I try to do the best I can when I see them. They're important. They're people too. Let's not have them die like this, like unwanted, abandoned. It's really hard for me anyway to see that. So I hope we all get together and do something about it eventually. And with that being said, I am bringing you the truth and nothing but the truth on Know Your Truth. Real Talk with me, Judge Desire for Knowledge, is adjourned. And I will see you next Saturday at 3. I will be bringing Legal Matters next Saturday. I'm not sure what it'll be on yet. But don't forget, stay warm, stay safe, all right? And I wish you all the best. See you next week, God willing. Ciao.